Hiya Squishers, and welcome back to Squishmas. Under the stairs with me, Kate, and a lot of the squish, socks stuck to the wall, and me, Kate, and some of the knits this evening, because it is this evening here on day 18 of Squishmas. Day 18! Woohoo! We've 18 days on a trot we've done this under the stairs. Well done you for coming. Thank you for coming and this is cool. I've really enjoyed this. It's given me a lot of time for reflection upon the knits that I'm making, which, as you notice, changes daily. And yesterday I was going to make a thing. I've changed my mind all over again. So what's been going on apart from moving everything around and getting ready for the next part of the journey, which is the next part of Squishmas? I've had some time to knit, yay! So in between doing all my jobs and doing all the moving and all the cleaning and the shaking and the tidying, I have knit. That is exactly what I've been doing, which is so much fun because I tried out one of the new packs that are going into the shop, which is this one. This is half of, well, not half. I've got one of these full ones left. This is the colour pack that I chose. I'm going to leave that there. This is the colour pack I chose, and this is what I did with it, because I was trying to decide, that's the one I just threw on the floor, right there, that was Galaxy. Yep, it's Galaxy on the floor. I was trying to decide whether to do the same pattern as this one, or to do another odd pair. Then I was like, no, because what happens if I just split them down again and add the rib and the stuff in the middle? So this is what I've got this time. So I've got little sections of straight knitting and little sections of rib, sections of straight, which I love for two reasons. Number one, it gives your hands a break in these bits, which is useful if you're knitting quite a lot. Sometimes you need a different stitch to break up the monotony, or actually it's like your fingers need you to do something different. This breaks it up. And these little sections here where it's just knit, it almost highlights some of that yarn where it's got colour changes, or like this is a jelly bean here, it's got some of those like little strips going through it, and this one, my favourite, spots of pink. So this is what I thought I'd do with this one, which of course I'll write up, you can knit too, but I did of course do some more knitting on my other scrappy sock, wrist warmer, whatever it's going to be. I think it's going to be wrist warmers simply because I can just knit giant tubes then cast them off. This is how far I got with this one, and I am excited. Number one, about the fact that I have not got to tie in all the ends, and look, already that's a wrist warmer size. Well, obviously not like wrist warmer size, so you could just like knit loads of these and then just like give knitting, job done. And my preference needles for this, because I get asked quite a bit, woo, I use not necessarily the Chiagu ones, if that's the right way of saying it, although I do like them because they've got red cables like that. I like 9-inch 2.25mm circular sock needles. Like, they have changed my life. When I first started knitting socks, I tried the sticks. Now I know my mum is like, yeah, she can do like 4-pointed needles like an octopus. I just can't do it. And also, it's just, I always look, you know, I always lose one, like one goes down the sofa, one goes in my bag, or it was too much. So this was just like a safer traveling option. So if you're thinking about knitting socks for the first time, or you want to try out one of these patterns, there's quite a few free wrist warmer patterns in the shop that are really simple to do. Try those. They all use the same needles, because I like the fact that I can just stick these in my pocket. I can go like this, whoop, stuff them in my pocket, and away I go. So that is my, like, if I was going to choose sock needles, this is what I would recommend to you. 9-inch 2.25 needles, or 2.5, because actually if your tension's a little bit tight, or you're a little bit like stressed knitting, I remember when I started knitting, because I was so focused, let's get some lip balm, so focused on doing it properly, and by properly I mean actually just getting the stitches in, I was like, whoa. So when I knit, it was like, it was such a difference when I started knitting in a tube and I had a bit of practice. It was like, oh wow, this looks really tense. This looks quite relaxed. So like finding the right knitting needle diameter for you is also quite a good thing as well. Because if you're a tight knitter, go up a size. If you're a loose knitter, go down a size. And, you know, sometimes you just might want a bit of space, a bit more give in your stitches. Go up a size. So there you go. But talking about tubes, because I've got loads of tubes on the go all the time, and because I haven't started the jumper because I'm not quite there yet, got a bit of squishing to do left before I jump into my squishy treat for this year. And that will make it all the more sweeter. Do you know when you feel like you deserve the treat? Like I'm going to deserve this jumper cast on when I get to it, because I would spend some time thinking about it, dyeing the yarn for it, and also waiting till I did my stuff. Then I'm going to cast on, but I'm not going to starve myself of knitting and of pleasure, because that's something I just don't do. I don't see knitting as something that I should take away because I'm not doing my homework, that kind of thing. I think knitting enhances my general well-being. So I knit all of the time, but if I know it's going to be quite an involved project and I know I'm going to have to spend some time genuinely choosing some colours, it's nice to have a little bit of delay where I get to feel like I deserve it. So until then, let me show you some other tubey knits, because there's loads for you to choose on the website. And some of the most simple ones, if you're enjoying the simple tube knits for the wrist warmers, or you have not started knitting yet, because I know some of you don't knit yet. The simplest patterns I would go for, because when I say simple, it doesn't mean that they're just easy. Well, they're easy, but there's a lot of fun to be had because they're easy, because you haven't got to think about the stitches, you get to have fun with the colour. The first one I would suggest is the simple tube cowl, and it is just straight up simple tube cowl. It's 2 strands of sock yarn together, cast on, joining around, don't twist your stitches. And if you do twist your stitches, you've got a Mobius strip, which is one of those things that goes whoop, which is also a design, just so you know, in case you've got a certain way and you're like, ah, don't worry, that's a design. So don't kick yourself, just start another one. So this is a simple tube cowl, and I love it because I like to fold it in, so I've got a double layer cowl. Yes, I've got loads of these, and this is the pattern that went on to be a bolster cushion in my house. Those are worth making. Another version of the tube cowl is slub it up. Slub it up. This one is using Elma Slub and Elma Grey sock yarn together. There's nothing like the colours in Elma for me. Like, there's something like magical about all of the colours. It is just like all of them. And even the bobbles have spackles on. Like, I love that. Like, some of the bobbles have got like blobs of colour on them. So this is a nice blend. And also, if you are treading into the territory of lots of colour, or you've been gifted or given, or you've selected yourself a way out of their colour, like it's full on rainbow and you're not quite a rainbow person, this is the approach I'd use. If you want to kind of tone it down a bit, go for something a bit neutral in the background. So like a nice denim blue, that's nice. That's nice. A grey or a charcoal or a white is really beautiful as well. So that's another option. Slub it up, grab some slub from your stash, go wild. And then the other one is something a little bit different, still just a tube. The only fancy things on it is the ribbon on the end, which just brings the cowl in a little bit. That's the end. This is a sock weight scarf cowl, which uses one of my, it was called Cherry Bomb Fade. They will be returning to the shop, don't worry. It's just like, this is Squishmas. We're going to get through Squishmas and then we'll see where we go. This colour palette was available in my shop, and I love the see this bit, that bit, this bit, those bits there, all that there. I love the colours, but mostly this was for a 100 gram squish palette, which means if you've got 10 gram minis, and, or alternatively, if you've got 25 gram scrappies, this is a good pattern to try, minus this bit, just 10 grams in the middle. This is a good pattern to try. It's just sock weight, simple tube, and it's all about the colour changes. So again, if you're wondering what to cast on, or you're debating what Squishmas treat you're going to give yourself in terms of patterns, what are you going to enjoy? Think about that. What are you going to enjoy? What's going to keep you motivated? What's going to keep you ploughing on when you've got like, it's the blanket problem, isn't it? You go halfway through, you're like, I love it, but it weighs so much and it's so heavy. Is it big enough? Can I stop? No, keep going. But I could stop right now, but no, add more colours. that's where you want to be. So think about it. Don't rush into it. There's no rush. There's no rush. There's no rush. Because when you get there, it'll just work. So there you go, Squishers. It is kind of late on a Saturday night for us to be chatting under the stairs. But I'm glad I popped down under the stairs to show you my current whip. Because by tomorrow, I may have another one to show you. And if the weather is good, it wasn't very good today, I might actually get out for some metal detecting. Oh, hallelujah! I might get out for some metal detecting, so watch this space. Don't know if I'll find anything. You never know. That is the fun of metal detecting. And as long as it's not raining, I'm outside. So that's my Sunday plan. Well, some of my Sunday plan. So whatever you're going to do this evening or tomorrow, have a great time. Don't stress about the squish. All time is good time. And just think, travel project. You could be around the house. Seriously, it's a lot of fun. And side note, I can knit with my eyes closed. Oh. Talk about knit hacks. If you can knit without looking, you can knit with your eyes closed. But don't try it for too long because you will fall asleep. Well, I did. You know, there's a balance. But anyway, the joy of knitting and crafting, of course, because I'm an inclusive craft zone here. Stitching, knitting, sewing, weaving, crochet, whatever. Like, just chuck it in. Get the colour. And I will see you tomorrow for day 19. Oh, my goodness. Bye, Squishers.